So you were imitating Brian because he is sick?
But he's blaming a coworker for getting him sick. It's always a coworker that gets him sick. That's what he always says. That's his go-to. He probably has the beer.
It's not the waste dump, which is his apartment.
That's probably helped. That probably would be it too.
Yeah, he probably did a trash angel and he got sick, or he got stabbed by a needle from something.
I want to do one of those extreme hoarder episodes with Brian.
Well, I think he hoards garbage because he doesn't like to go to the dumpster very often.
That's right on fucking window.
How many dead cats are we going to find under all that trash in his apartment?
8.
3. I'm going 3.
5.5.
We'll set the over under. We'll set the over under at 3.5. I'm going under at 3. We got to have some odds on this.
You know, what's going to happen is when you walk in there and you're walking on all these empty cans, and you're going to say, why are all these empty cans on the floor? He's going to say, because I'm recycling those.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's going to trash them.
but Brian, you're not supposed to be using them as flooring.
I got Sergeant Winter.
Or maybe insulation.
He's gonna make clothes out of trash bag.
Yeah.
Pizza boxes, they cut down on the noise from the neighbors if you throw them all over the floor.
Interesting.
Seriously, cuts down on the noise from the neighbors.
No, he's a hero.
So here we are, giving you the One Pick Wonders best pick of the week, coming off a win last week. I was getting text messages saying that we were losing, and then the Packers come back for the big win, giving Pickmaster Ryan
The best thing I have.
Yeah, they came back and won in overtime. I was getting a little nervous, but the Jets showed who they were, and they lost, so it works out well.
Yep, Jets choked, so it worked out for us.
How do you cover 3.5 in overtime? They scored a touchdown?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Now, was that to keep the Jets from getting possession, or they just happened to score a touchdown?
I think they just happened to score a touchdown because I think each one of them got a possession. So didn't they?
No, I think the
first drive.
Packers had the first possession. They went down and scored. And if the team scores a touchdown, the first possession, overtime's over.
No, I didn't realize they scored on the first possession.
Yeah, if it was a subsequent possession, all they need would be a field goal to win the game.
Right.
Yeah. So right now we're in like.
But once they scored 6 points, they covered 3.5.
Yep.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's just clean shape. And I have to do that.
Pickmaster Ryan this week is picking the Bears at
the Bears.
The Bears. Bears look to stay hot after winning 3
like in the ground, like
and 8 of
sometimes
the last 9.
this little dude that grabs it.
14-9 road win over San Fran, and you said that covered a spread as well, right?
Yeah.
Trubisky has thrown for over 3,000 yards now.
Wait, it's a
66.4% passing.
Oh.
You've got a good rusher, Jordan Howard.
Oh.
You've got the Mac attack back in the lineup, leading the Bears with 12.5 sacks.
Okay.
So what we're saying is Chicago 6-0 against the spread in their last 6.
Oh, okay.
8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games. 4-1 in their last 5 games.
I'm
against
getting a little
so I can't understand why Minnesota's the favorite here. Being at home, and it's we can understand why Minnesota's the favorite. Being at home, basically, when you're in for the Vikings. However, the Bears still have something to play for. They can get a first-round bye if the 49ers manage to upset the Rams. Bears capable of keeping this one within a field goal, if not winning outright. So let's
how do you get
on the Bears in this one.
I They're like copper looking.
Well, Ryan, we'll let you go first. You big homer, you.
Yeah, well, it's funny because this week I was actually going to defer my time to let Brian go first, since he complained last time about always going last and not having anything to talk about. But Cole's not here, so my one stats site is down. So, but it's the Bears still have something to play for. So does Minnesota. The Bears are getting 4.5 points. So they can lose by a field goal and still cover. Looking at the scoring on the season, the Bears are outscoring their opponents 26.5 to 18.2, whereas Minnesota is it's much smaller margin, 23.3 to 21.1. So Minnesota plays much closer games than what the Bears have been playing, more or less. So, I mean, that Bears defense is pretty good. Cousins has shown that he can get shut down, and the running game for Minnesota. I think the Bears can stop Dalvin Cook. They might have a little bit of difficulty if they decide to go with Latavius Murray a little bit more as receiver and back out of the backfield. But Thielen, who started out hotter than hell this year, hasn't been doing anything really. My fantasy league team took a tumble with Thielen going to crap. So Diggs, they got to cover Diggs a little bit more. That Bears defense is just, I think they're number 3 in the league. So it's really going to be about the defense and then the offense not making the mistakes. Trubisky, he's literally just over 3,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Allen Robinson might miss the game tomorrow. They don't know yet. But even if he misses the game, it's just going to change the way the Vikings will play deep. Receiver-wise, they might, because he's clearly their best receiver. But I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. They don't really throw the ball. I don't think they throw the ball as deep as often as a lot of other teams. So they throw a lot of short passes. Tariq Cohen gets a lot of yards off of receiving the little running back who I think is fantastic. Plays a good role. So, and they're indoors. They're playing indoors, so the weather's not a factor. So I don't know. It was the game that I liked the best. Looking at all the other lines, some of the other lines were pretty big. Some teams that don't have anything to play for against teams that do have something to play for. That game, that San Fran LA game, Rams game is the playing at the same time. So so the Bears will know what's happening, and they finally put the number 1 Fox team on the Bears game. So we'll see what my buddy Joe and Troy Aikman have to say this week if I get the game. I don't know if they're going to play the game here in Philly. Probably not.
What happens?
No, we're not getting it.
Lose.
No,
What happens
at the same time.
as far as the wild card? What happens if the Vikings lose?
If the Vikings lose and the Eagles win, the Eagles are in the playoffs. If the Vikings lose and the Eagles lose, then the Vikings, I believe, are the 6. And then if the Rams win and the Bears win, the Rams still are number 2, and the Bears will host the 6th seed. So it'll be either Minnesota or Philadelphia. So basically, it's going to decide whether or not the Bears play in Chicago next week, or if they get a week off, which would be nice for Allen Robinson. But I think it'll be tough for some teams to come up to Chicago and play in that bitter cold weather. Even though, we're 50 degrees here in Philly right now, something like that. So you never know what Chicago could be like in a week or two. Probably cold as hell, but it's not, but makes it much more difficult than playing out in LA or in New Orleans. I wouldn't want to go to New Orleans. So
There's only one wild card slot left because the Seahawks have already
yeah. Seahawks, and I don't know. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think the Seahawks are gonna do much, but I could be wrong. I
No,
hope I'm
it's-
not, but
Only the Vikings control their own destiny, winning in. And if they lose, then it's up to what happens in the Eagles game.
yeah. And the Eagles, who do they? They play the Redskins tomorrow, and the Redskins are on what, their fourth starting quarterback this season?
I think 4.
Is it 4?
Yeah, 4. They went through
Yeah, because Colt
McCoy,
McCoy,
the Sanchez, and then this
Fumble.
guy.
yeah. Even though Johnson's playing well, but I think Jordan Reed out.
Yeah, he's on IR. They released DJ Swearinger. He's gone. They're a mess.
Yeah, I would take him. I'd take that dude in a heartbeat. It's a good ball
Who's the
player.
quarterback now? Is it RG6?
No, no, he's I don't even know where the hell he's at.
Baltimore.
Oh, that's right. He's backing up. No, I don't even know if he's
No, he's the third
backing up Lamar
quarterback.
Jackson. Flacco is healthy,
Yeah.
or healthy enough to be the backup.
Yes.
So
I think it's Charlie Batch, actually.
Yeah, and Stan Hill and Kyle Bowler.
Okay, there's another survivor over
So,
here.
Dan, what's your take on this matchup with the Bears and who the hell they playing?
The Vikings.
Vikings.
I'm really good at this
Well,
game.
Kirk Cousins is a professional choker. He's choked before in a game like this a few years ago that cost the Redskins a chance to the playoff.
My bad.
The Bears offense needs to play better. They really need to get their act together in this game.
Wait, can I double jump
This is
now?
their last chance before the playoffs, and they haven't played very well lately. So I think it'll give everyone a boost of confidence going to the playoffs if they put a decent number up on the Vikings on Sunday. I'm actually biased because if the Bears take care of business, then it helps the Eagles because they should probably take care of the Redskins. They're pretty much done. So that'd be nice. But to me, for Chicago, regardless of what happens, obviously if the game in LA becomes a blowout, then Nagy should do whatever he has to do. But their offense really needs to get back on track. They haven't against the 49ers and whoever they played, the Rams, who have a lousy defense, small numbers. And they need to get back on track to putting up bigger numbers. Because if they ever play a team like New Orleans, they're going to have to score points to win. They play the Rams not as much. I think the Rams off defense is so bad, I think that's okay. Seattle would be a tough matchup. I think they have a chance to actually do something if they do whoever plays the Rams in the playoffs. Because I don't see it with that team anymore. But we'll see what happens. But I like the pick. I think it's a good choice. Most of the games this weekend are involving teams that have nothing to play for. So it's good to pick two teams that are actually fighting for something.
I'm looking at some devastation in the Minnesota second defensive backfield on injury. Safety out, cornerback out, cornerback out, cornerback out.
Wait, I'm attacking this bee lady. Give me a
I'm
second.
guessing these are starters. So Minnesota's defensive secondary pretty much
Yeah.
toast right now. You got a safety and two cornerbacks out. San Diego, Sherrills, Rhodes. All Rhodes is left the game is questionable, and then Sherrills is downgraded to out.
Yeah, Eric Kendricks, our linebackers out.
Survivor over here. Come with me.
Yeah, they've got Kendricks and Ham out. Two linebackers out. I mean, I'm sorry, a linebacker. No, I only see Kendricks out as a linebacker. Ham as a running back. So I'm not. Their pass coverage is really in question.
Oh, I found a chest.
yeah, it'll be interesting. It's going to be.
Oh, there's a monster.
It could go either way. But again, they're giving the Bears 4.5 points. So I don't think you can give the Bears 4.5 points. I mean, I'm curious as well. I can't remember what the line was when the Bears played the Rams. It was like, what was that, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? The Bears played the Rams in Chicago, which, I mean, you look at that. I mean, that was the two teams that are battling for that number 2 spot, and it was 3 weeks ago, and the Bears won. 15-6.
No, like really bad.
So, I mean, in Chicago, granted, this game's in Minnesota, but still, much more, I think a much more high caliber team all around. I mean, yeah, their defense Rams defense hasn't played that well, as of late. And if they've got teams back, they've got players back healthy. They're supposed to play better, but they haven't been. So, but the Bears put 15 points up on them, beat them 15-6. So I look at that Bears defense. Are they the 85 Bears? No, they're not the 85 Bears. Nobody will ever be the 85 Bears. This is Club Dub. That's what their thing is this year, Club Dub. So they got their own personality, and they're winning. They're winning with good defense and or way above average defense. Scoring in the right spots. I mean, you got to think about it. They won a game with a backup quarterback. The second game, I think that he played, they kept him in the game. He kept him close in the game, and they just couldn't. He made a couple of mistakes. So with Trubisky, whose shoulder probably hurts a little bit still, probably isn't 100%, but kid's gonna gut it out. He's like 22, 23, 24 years old, something like that. I'm expecting a decent game tomorrow. Is he gonna throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns? No. He's going to do what he needs to do to help score points and look for maybe a Bears turnover to be the difference in the game.
So I'm calling it a 4.5-point spread right now. They need to do a music video and have a cameo by who is it? McMahon, the old
yeah.
Have him do a cameo with one of those sweatbands on his head.
Well, Louis Riddick may have given him the KOD because Louis Riddick on whatever that show is with Greenberg picked the Bears to win the Super Bowl. So hopefully that didn't give him the kiss of death. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? It'd be great as a fan. It'd be great, but they're probably not ready yet for prime time. Totally. But I hope they prove me wrong, and I hope they come out there, kick ass tomorrow, and then, even if they get to the Super Bowl, I'd be happy if they got to the Super Bowl, because when they drafted Trubisky, I wasn't happy. But it really wasn't because I wasn't happy because picks to move up one spot. Stupid. They probably would have got him anyway. San Fran bamboozled them to get some picks, and they moved back. Literally, they went from 4 to 3. But Trubisky's proved me wrong so far. I mean, I think it's maybe just a matter of because Matt Nagy actually knows more than John Fox about offense and how to work the new NFL. I mean, it's what it really comes down to. With all due respect to John Fox, old school guys, you get a lot of these young guys they come in with the more innovations or whatever, and what's his name? Who's the kid in LA? Who's that? McVay.
McVay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look what he did for Jared Goff as opposed to Jeff Fisher. If Jeff Fisher was still there, they'd probably be 7-9.
That's right.
So some of these young guys coming in, and if anything, Matt Nagy, you look at Matt Nagy, he went for it on 4th down in their own territory last week against whatever, I can't remember how the hell they beat last week. But he goes for it. He's not afraid to go for it. You need a coach that isn't afraid. And he's not afraid because he's not worried about being on the hot seat. You get some of these older guys that are worried, am I going to be – like they're already talking about is Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera's probably going to be back. Well, you know what? There's a good chance Ron Rivera gets fired on Monday. It could happen. Doug Marrone in Jacksonville could happen. You know who's not getting fired? Matt Nagy. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He should win probably Coach of the Year in the NFL. If he doesn't, well, then the writers are dumb. So that's my perspective.
This Trubisky is better than Mariota and Jameis Winston, right?
Is he better? Probably. Yeah. I mean, I think he's going to be. I think he's got a chance to be a superstar at this point. I mean, he knows when to run, and he knows when to throw. I think it's a matter of him getting even more comfortable and making sure that he knows when to throw the ball away. Sometimes he'll try to force some things in, but again, he's still young. He's still got more to learn. I think he'll even tell you that he's got a lot more to learn. But all young guys got to learn how to throw it away. Mariota, man, he's all right. They win games.
He's not better than this Mahomes.
No, Mahomes, that kid's awesome. That kid's the total package. And maybe NFL MVP. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, no, he's impressive. He's going to throw over 50 touchdown passes this season, which is incredible.
It's too bad he's not going to hit 57.
No, he had to throw 9 touchdowns to do that.
Yeah. Did you see that Hines said that if he hit 57, because he puts ketchup on everything, they would give him ketchup for life.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, next year.
What's the year groups for Mahomes and Trubisky? Are they the same year group?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mahomes played one game last year, that last game of the season, I think, or something like that, or close to it.
Yeah, he played that one last game because it was meaningless. So they played him in the regular season anyway.
Yeah.
The Chiefs
they might have won if they had started him in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Who
right.
higher, Mahomes or Trubisky?
Trubisky went higher. Mahomes, I think, went like not 8 or 9 or something like that, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Andy Reid made a good move trading up. Kansas City traded up to get him. Did a good job. I mean, he has a good pedigree too. I mean, his old man was a professional baseball player. So.
And let me just say, for the next 2 weeks, you have to realize there's games on Saturdays the next 2 weeks. So depending on what game we pick, we might have to alter when we do the show.
Building stuff around the Atlas.
Do the show on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So doing.
The Heisman Trophy winner took a baseball contract.
I don't blame him. I would too.
But he hasn't chosen yet whether he's going to go play baseball or football.
Nah, I'd go play baseball. Guaranteed money.
He signed a baseball commitment.
It depends where you go in the draft. I mean, if he gets picked in the top 10 of the NFL draft, he's going to get a big signing bonus. Whereas in baseball, you have to go through the minor league system. But they gave him $4 million up front. So I don't know. It's tough for him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's a little guy, so I don't know how far he'd make in the NFL. But I guess who knows? Who knows? But it's good, tough decisions for him.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'd go the Smarsda route. Take the guaranteed money, play baseball, save your brain.
Yeah.
We all should have such problems.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'll take the league minimum.
Yeah, right.
And in baseball.
I just want to be hired as a manager so I can get fired after like 2 games and I still get paid.
Hey, who's the comedian? Billy, what's his face? He had a 1-day contract with the Yankees.
Oh, Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
He played in the spring training game.
Yeah, he played for the Yankees for 1 game.
Yeah, he struck out and that was it.
Yeah.
You can buy your way into the stat book, apparently.
It didn't count.
Will Ferrell did the same thing. Will Ferrell did that in spring training. I think he played every position.
Yeah.
I forget what year it was. It was like, I don't think it was just this past year. I think it was maybe the year before he played all 9 positions in 1 day or 1 week or something like that. I can't remember.
What team? Day. The different games.
For what? What team did he do that for?
A bunch. I think it was a bunch of them he played for. They let them do whatever they want. They're celebrities. When we become celebrities, we can go hit batting practice at any sporting event we want, any baseball game we want. They'll just let us do it. Maybe we'll be infamous. What are we going to have to do? We got to go viral. We'll be like Big Al. We hit dingers, right? That kid went viral. He was hanging out with major leaguers, giving autographs to major leaguers.
No, we could just take a video of Brian's apartment, and then that would go viral when it gets sent to the EPA.
Yeah. He'll get thrown out by his landlord.
It's going to be the next Love Canal. Remember the Love Canal?
Oh, yeah.
Where the guys show up in hazmat suits.
Right.
Oh, God.
All right, the Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Bears.
Like beginning area,
All right. Happy New Year, fellas.
All right, Happy New
All right,
Year.
Happy New Year. Take care, guys.
All right.